All Ball TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Yeah. Hold on, let me turn my light on. And I heard a noise. That means the boys in the background. I don't care if it's too sunny, all ball. I don't care if it's too sunny, all ball. Yeah. Favorite perspective, expected, so accepted. You heard the intro. Like, comment, subscribe. They don't like comentario. Suscribe.
Is it hold on? Is it better like this? How's this?
I like it. It's cool. That's even better because you blocking the light out. That's good.
Let's go.
Oh boy, I made that. What's going on, baby?
Oh man, just big game tonight, man. I think this game right here is going to determine the series. Just to be honest with you, if it's if you talking real basketball, to me, I think we need to take game 2. But I'm excited. I can't wait. Reggie Miller's in the building. Oh, it's going down.
Big time. And speaking of Reggie Miller, he's gonna be in the building. He had his crazy moment. I ain't playing that over here right now. When he killed us 8 points in 7 seconds, whatever it was. Woo! That was, man. You talk about becoming a legend.
That's that's probably top 5 most iconic moments in sports history.
Ooh.
Like that transcended the world. Like, listen, man, what Reggie Miller did in the interaction with him and Spike Lee, you've never seen nothing like that ever. Like when you watch the documentary, remember they block out a lot of stuff. What Spike Lee was what Reggie Miller was telling Spike while Spike was sitting right there with his wife, Lord have mercy, it got to be censored. So yeah, I think that moment. Listen, man, that's what sports is, and it's going down tonight.
So, what a crazy transition. Again, we working in intuition out here. For you guys that don't understand what's going on, Knicks Rehab, Big New York in the building. Speaking of legendary, today, May 8th, 54 years ago, marks the day that Willis Reed, the Willis Reed, emerging from the tunnel and start Game 7. When he came out of the tunnel, May 8th, 1970, that's the Willis Reed game. We all know about the team guys, as opposed to New York that was built from the ground up. And I just want to say this real quick on a mini rant. That Willis Reed moment, nobody really talks about it like this. But I got a platform. I got to highlight my people. Think about it. What moment in NBA history comes before that was this legendary?
Great point.
Like,
wow.
And the reason why I say that, oh boy, I don't go on a crazy tangent, is the 1960s to me is a real pivotal moment in the world history because of television. It went from black and white to color. Remember Martin Luther King, Malcolm X got assassinated, the president got assassinated, his brother got assassinated. This all was black and white turned to color. So imagine all these things are taking place. Sports wasn't live. This wasn't live. The Willis Reed thing wasn't live. So it's all mythological. Willis Reed, there's no footage of Willis Reed. So the Willis Reed moment, if you think about, remember, I compare everything to wrestling and football. This is the first wrestling moment that we got televised where Willis Reed comes down. That's like hearing Stone Cold music in the background out of nowhere. Oh, and he comes through for the victory. So to me, I thought a moment came before this in sports history that we have documented that was this significant and this legendary. So shout out to Willis Reed, God bless, actually, and the New York Knicks and Walt Clyde Frazier.
But that's a great point. But what you're also missing is that moment isn't that legendary if it's not in New York. Certain things is only going to happen if it's in New York. So just it being the Garden, 34th Street, New York City, the Knicks. So just imagine if that was any other sports team. It's not magnified like that. And that's why New York, that's why as a sports town, we the best and we're the greatest because we love our sports, man. In that moment, once again, top 5 most iconic moment in sports history, not basketball, in sports history. It goes all the way down to the commentary. Just it sends chills through your body. So listen, man, Big shout out, rest in peace, man. The legend, Willis Reed.
Definitely, man. And of course, don't want to we'll transition to game 2 preview in a second because you see the thumbnail. We got lunatics out here. They think they slick all ball. They think they slick out here. Not happening. Not happening. We got the likes of a Draymond Green. I just want you guys to see this real quick. All of a sudden, he's quite complimentary of the New York Knicks and really the fans. As I load it up real quick. Let's see what he had to say about the New York Knicks fans out of nowhere after 8 games into the playoffs.
I said all of that to say the excitement that Knicks fans have about winning this round 1 series is hilarious. It's great for the sport. It's super fun as a fan of the game. I think it's hilarious, but I think it's super fun to watch their enthusiasm. Like, Knicks fans are absolutely insane about the Knicks. And, you know, I'm sitting there watching these guys talk about these series and what happens if the Knicks make the finals and all of these things. And the passion for that team is unlike many things I've ever seen. Like, the passion that Knicks have for the team almost rivals like the passion that European soccer fans have for their clubs. It's very, very, very interesting to watch. And man.
Well, hear what he said there, boy.
See, for me, you know, I'm tired of people taking our fan base as a joke. I'm tired of the compliment, but then right after the compliment is a backhand smack. We're not a joke. Y'all need to start respecting our basketball team. Everybody throw their little subliminals. I've been hearing Draymond, and all of a sudden, I don't even know how Austin Rivers got a job. Let's get to that. Big shout out Zip the Drip. That's his thing. Let's get to that. How did Austin Rivers even get a job? How does he talk crazy about anybody? But that's neither here nor there. But Draymond Green, you've been talking real slick about our Knicks and about the best player in the NBA, Jalen Brunson. But yeah, we passionate because we love our team. But what I need people to understand is start giving our team props. Like, we're not a flash in the pan. This is not fake. This is real. We are a great basketball team, and we play great basketball. Tough, hard-nosed basketball. We work hard. We're exciting to watch, and it just so happened we have the greatest fan base of all time. You put that together, and it's magic. But I don't need nobody to give us props and at the same time try to play us, try to laugh at us. No, we're not a funny fan base. This is what we are. And we've been like that before any of us was even born. New York Knicks have the greatest fan base of all time. So yeah, Draymond Green, keep your compliments, brother. Keep that same energy you've been having. That Brunson can't do it. That, you know, we can't get to that level. That is comical. That, you know, we say we can get to the finals. Nah, keep y'all energy over there. Because I bet a lot of y'all right now wish I was playing for the Knicks and playing for this type of fan base. Yeah, bet that.
Please in the building, worldwide please. Give me 1 second. We're getting into Draymond Green's comments.
Flea, what up, baby?
What up?
Listen, I like that you said that, old boy, because guess what? This is what this bozo had to say 2 years ago about the New York Knicks fans.
Yes. I feel like where that all was birthed really was the series versus the Knicks, where everybody in New York Knicks fans are fucking delusional and miserable.
Wow.
And I love New York, so don't ban me from y'all city.
And what?
And miserable. And I love and miserable.
Why are we starting with this guy?
Wow.
Why are we talking about this guy?
Because he'll give us views, Flea. What you mean? Let me get all that energy, Flea. Let's go with it. I don't know where the shades is at, Flea, while they missing, but let's go get some shade at Draymond.
These early start times was kicking my ass. But anyway, so I don't even know where to go with that dude. I don't even. Why are we even talking about this dude? This dude is not playing basketball right now. He's not in the playoffs right now.
Talk to him, Fleet.
These niggas are just. We can run to the podcast and talk. Yo, the newest episode of the Paul George podcast is out already. These niggas are so thirsty to run and talk to us about basketball instead of playing. They be so ready to run and talk run their mouths in front of these microphones instead of leaving it all out there on the basketball court. We don't want to hear from you niggas.
Hey, Fleet, let me ask you a question, right? You played at that level. You played at a high level. No,
I hear what you're saying.
No, but still, you played that level, right? You being a baller, we all was ballers, but you being at that level more than me and Fabian. You don't feel no type of way that you guys just lost the playoffs. One of them didn't make the playoffs. Why is there no videos of y'all in the gym working out, getting ready for the next season?
I would be lying if I didn't say like you take a step away from being committed the whole year. But the first thing that comes out, I don't want to see you niggas like talking about why you lost or why this happened or like, yes, it would feel good to see Minnesota Timberwolves. They win a game. They hit the weight room right after a win. Right after a win. I'm not saying they're the only team that does that, but the only team that I've seen that I got footage of doing that are the Timberwolves right now. Every time I see some footage after they're in full uniform, OG, full uniform, lifting, getting extra shots up. Like I don't want to hear.
But we seen that with the Suns too, and they got smacked.
I'm just saying. You asked about Draymond. You asking about Paul George. And you're not even asking about Paul George. I just happen to see this goofy. Like I'm just seeing all of these dudes talk on the internet, right? I understand the world we live in right now, but you're basketball players. You're basketball players. You guys are becoming better talking heads than actual basketball players. Like put it out there on the floor instead of running to these mics to talk to us. Leave that up to us. We're good at this. We can do this. We can do it and do it well. Stop talking to us about why things didn't happen. You want to sit with Jackie Long. Go talk to tell James Harden why I'm annoyed. I'm sorry. I'm annoyed. I'm tired of seeing them just run their mouth.
With this whole thing with Drake and Kendrick going back and forth, there was a Styles P clip that came up and he's like, yo, bro, no disrespect. I like Drake, but you're just a star, bro. Like, when it comes down to this, you had a ghostwriter, you broke the rules. Like, you can't do what we really do because you have to go be a star. So with these guys trying to be podcasters, it's like, bro, you're already compromised. You're Clutch Sports. This guy's with this organization. This guy, you could never do what we do. That's why we could do this. That's what was so disappointing about Draymond being with Clutch. After you punched LeBron in the nuts, calling him all kinds of names, you went over there, started calling him the GOAT. We see the same thing with JJ Redick happening. Yo, y'all are compromised. Like, I thought it was new media. Bro, we seeing you look like a bozo now, going back and forth about how you feel about us. Don't do that because we're going to flame you. We don't want you here in New York, by the way. You think you're low, and you're not. You and LeBron are trying to come to New York. I see it. That's why I put this in here, old boy. I see right through the bullshit. We don't want you here. You, your man, your family, none of that. We don't love you, bro. You suck. You suck at podcasting, and I thought you would be great at it. You are horrible. Horrible. How can you be this trash? And you the biggest trash talker in the league. That's why the next Charles Barkley. Imagine if Barkley had a podcast when he was playing in the NBA. Are you crazy?
Legendary.
Barkley
would have been crazy. He's a joke. You're a joke, Draymond. It's crazy. I'm sorry, Flea. I had to double down. I'm sorry I had to bring this up first. But we got our views, baby. Thank you, Draymond Green, for being a moron.
Wrap us up, OG, on that topic, man. Because I have nothing to talk about when I like talking basketball. I can't talk basketball about him because he's not playing. He's not playing.
Well,
he's not playing. He won't be playing for months. We won't see any meaningful basketball from Draymond Green for the next 4 to 5 months. We won't.
Hold on, Flea. We might not be seeing meaningful basketball from Draymond Green for the rest of his career. Let's get to that.
Let's get to
You
that.
ain't winning nothing. Get out of here.
Like,
we haven't seen meaningful basketball for him in years since they went to the pot. Remember, he snuffed this guy. Like everything about him is a joke. He talk about somebody just squandering opportunity after opportunity, and he tries to sound all righteous. Look what he did to the guy this year. I don't defend him that much from the Phoenix Suns. Then he came out, he was acting like he needed some therapy or whatever it was. Then you would come out and say he deserved it. Yo, listen, you might really need some help, bro. On some just being real. Just being real. You look crazy. You look nuts.
But you know what, Fleet? The reason why I like this topic, just real quick, because I think it's time for a lot of these platforms, former players, current players, analysts, start respecting our Knicks. Stop trying to make us the butt of y'all jokes. Stop trying to make fun of the fan base. Bro, this is not a game. We're a good basketball team, and people keep forgetting we're not healthy. Mitch is in and out. OG was in and out. Randall was not here. We just got Boggs hurt. Like, put some respect on our name. Like, and I'm tired of guys like Draymond and Austin Rivers, and the list goes on and on and on. Once again, it's okay to try to be funny, but the disrespect, it has to stop. It has to stop. We the real deal. That's just a fact. And I'm starting to think, Flea, guys is a little jealous, man. I think these players, these analysts, I think they starting to get a little jealous, man, because y'all fan base ain't like ours. Y'all don't get this love.
oh, well, I go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, just real quick. Y'all don't get this love. And also, you know how you think something is going to be bad forever? Now, we kind of throwing a monkey wrench into y'all thing because you can't laugh at us no more. We not that content that people can just rush to just to make fun of. Listen, Flea, I really think these guys is real jealous of New York Knicks in the fan base. I really do.
Well, they're gonna respond with we ain't won nothing in 50 years. They're gonna respond with we haven't won anything yet. They're gonna respond with, we have a superstar. We think our guy's a superstar. Nobody else in the league thinks he's a superstar, right? They're gonna respond with all that kind of stuff. And the fact still remains what you just said. I don't see any other fan base in the NBA that is as loyal, as consistent, as rabid, as passionate, all of everything that comes with being a real fan base, we encompass. Delusion. Yeah, you got to be a little delusional when you're a fan of your team. You got to really think that we're going to reach certain heights that everybody else doesn't think. If that makes us delusional, oh well, right? There's a level of realism that we walk with, and there's a level of fanatic, because we're a fan, that we walk, and you put it together, and yes, we might prognosticate, we're going to win the championship. All year long, all ball's been saying we're going to win the championship. How can you be wrong at a real Knicks fan saying we're going to win the championship? Right? Because at the same time, you have conversation about, okay, we could be better over here. We struggle here. We're great here. This is going to hurt us here. Like, you're realistic, but at the same time, you want us to be at a high. No other fan base is like us. No other fan base is like us. They try to imitate, but they're not like us.
And we'll end it off with this, because TNT, Charles Barkley, that's the AI Charles Barkley. We got the real Charles Barkley in the building on All Ball TV, y'all. And he said Draymond is all world at being a dumbass. We got the real Charles Barkley in the building right here, blessing us today before going on with his AI, appearance on TNT later on. But yeah, Flea, you're right, because I love that you said that. This is a great transition into who else would hype up Brunson but us. Because if we leave it to the media, these guys, ESPN, they have the 20 most valuable players of NBA playoffs first round. The 20 most valuable players in the first round of the playoffs this season. Joker, Ant-Man, LeBron James is third. Kyrie's fourth. Derek White is fifth. Joel Embiid is sixth. Anthony Davis seventh. Jalen Williams eighth. SGA ninth. Michael Porter Jr. 10th. Jason Tatum 11th. Luka Doncic 12th. 13 is James Harden. 14 is Franz Wagner. And 15th is Jalen Brunson.
What's the date on that list? What's the date on that tweet?
May 6, 2024.
Wow.
That's Monday. That's my B-day. So So the first round was already completed, and that list came out. OG, that's a dog shit list, OG. That's a god awful list.
Flea, before you go, even if that list is before the playoffs start, how is Brunson that low? Knowing what he has to deal with the injuries.
I tried to like give a little grace because I'm like, well, when did this list come out? That's
you did try.
Franz Wagner shot 1 for 15 in Game 7. They couldn't find Franz Wagner in Game 7. Paolo was hooping. They couldn't find Franz Wagner to help him win Game 7. Couldn't find him.
I'm being honest. What? How was Franz Wagner even mentioned? But this is my point. This is what I've been telling y'all. The conspiracy theory is real. The hate on the Knicks is real. Once again, how do you see a player do what he does for 2.5 years? Let's not forget what he did in the playoffs when Luka got hurt, what he did last year, all season, and then this season, all his numbers went up. Everything went up. How do you still disrespect him? I don't get it. But once again, if this was Ja Morant doing this, if this was Dame Lillard doing this, if this was Trae Young doing, if this was any, see, now I'm starting to figure it out, fellas. Y'all see the Villanova boys got their crew, right? They not with the cool kids. If you notice, everybody else is cool. Why isn't Jalen Brunson? Why isn't he on anybody's podcast? Why isn't he on bigger platforms? Why isn't anybody talking to him? Listen, man, when you don't want to be with the in crowd, this is what they do. Once again, father in his life, you see the highlights. Remember, you rarely see that. He's humble, good guy. He ain't big on social media. He ain't running around with jewelry. No knock to anybody that does any of that. But y'all hating on him. Y'all hating on him. And Flea, that's all it is. But it's starting to get a little out of hand. It's no way in the world he performs like this all season and in the playoffs, and y'all put him 15 and put Franz Wagner in front of him.
They're making. I want to go back, and I know this is probably a little off topic. I know this is a little off topic.
But he said because it sounds like a real villain.
Yeah,
Wagner, the way he said it was crazy.
That is a 007 villain. That's a fact.
Like what they doing, right? And I gotta be honest. Like I was opposed to giving Jalen Brunson the superstar tag, right? I think me and you guys have gone back and forth about this all season long. Y'all coined him a superstar a long time ago, months ago, and I was like, you got to give it time, right? And what's happening is they're making him earn that superstar tag. A lot of other guys, they don't have to earn it, and I'll be honest, that's because they really just are, right? A Kobe Bryant, a Michael Jordan, a LeBron James, a Kevin Durant, Anthony Edwards. And I'm just talking about just
Allen Iverson, the Mellows.
Like
I get it.
They are superstars, and it's not earned for them. They already there. When they hit the league, right? You already know that okay, these guys are on a superstar track, and when they get there, it's no surprise. Jalen Brunson's a second round pick, y'all. Right? Jalen Brunson is, not a guy that, Dallas didn't trust him, right? Now there's all of these comments coming out about him and Rick Carlisle and their relationship, and how, he didn't, see the potential in that young man. So, he had a shorter leash on him. What I'm saying is he's going to have to earn a lot more than what a lot of these other players are just flat out given. Not saying it's wrong. The guys that I mentioned are superstars, right? But this dude has to put together a body of work, has to put together a portfolio that is unmatched. Like if he lays an egg next year, they'll be able to take away that superstar tag, right? If Kobe Bryant didn't have a good year, you could never say he was a superstar. So that's just the difference with this dude. Like he hasn't got to the level yet where if he has the next 2 or 3 games, if he doesn't play well, There are going to be people that could come into question. Well, is he that good? What was he that great for the Knicks? What did he do? He didn't get them past the second round. This is the second year in a row he can't get them past the second round. Is he that great? That's what's going to happen when a lot of other guys, like a Joker, Joel, certain guys, Giannis, these guys are not going to be put into question. Joel Embiid hasn't been to the Eastern Conference Finals yet, and he's a bona fide superstar. Right? Unfortunately, that's how it works. And Jalen Brunson is on the short end of that, and he's going to have to work his ass off. But we got a worker. The dude is working. What else you want him to do? What else you want him to do? We figured out how to be successful without two of our best players. Think about that. We figured out how to be successful. Not scratch and claw. We won a damn playoff series. We made a 2 seed, Fabian. A 2 seed. We fully adjusted to not having our best offensive rebounder and not having a 25 and 10 guy. And bona fide all-star now in Julius Randle. Miss me with this Jalen Brunson hate. He's doing some amazing things right now for the New York Knicks.
We were talking about that the other day, Flea. Joker was a second round guy. He wasn't really even respected until his third or fourth year, or he gained that. And I started hearing like, oh, this guy's crazy. And in the bubble, he really second round guy. His lawyer, his agent is actually a lawyer from Serbia, saw him in the game and had to ask one of his scouts who he was. And the scout was like, I don't know who that is. I really don't even. So this guy came from nowhere and still came to the league and was still out of nowhere. Still had to battle with, was it Nurkic when he was in Denver and they traded him?
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot that he had to go through also, but it was still like as soon as he crossed that finish line, or there was a finish line, he was acknowledged. I like what All Ball said also, because remember, this is the whole battle with Leon Rose and everybody. Trae Young just signed with CAA. I don't know if that means anything, but maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But I think all these things do factor in, but this is clearly trolling. So this is why when they say, oh, we're trolling with Draymond Green, like when we led the show off with Draymond Green, yeah, I'm gonna lead the show off with Draymond Green, because this is what the ESPN, who makes $20 billion a quarter, they get paid to do this to get us triggered and talk about it. So guess what? I'm going to talk about it. You got, bro, Franz Wagner's 14. Where's Paolo? You can't tell me it's not on purpose. You saw this list, somebody reviewed it and was like, oh yeah, Jalen Williams. Yeah, leave him on there.
It's a bad list.
But it's intentional.
It's just not, and we always talk about order, right? No specific order, whatever. If that's specific order, that's a bad order. Just a bad order.
Yo, it's a difference from trolling and just going overboard. I get it. Anybody with any platform, you want to get views, clicks, I get it. I'm not knocking that. But sometimes y'all go overboard. Mm-hmm. And that list is just like, come on, man, it's past a joke. I don't even know what to call that. But once again, we as Knicks guys and just guys that love the game, we here to put a stop to it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't mind, Flea, how long we've been going back and forth. You like, he ain't a superstar yet. I don't mind that, because that's your honest opinion. But you're not gonna just sit there and say what he's doing isn't great. They not only saying he's not a superstar, they're still doubting him.
Yeah.
And that's the part I don't understand. When y'all are ballers, y'all are players, y'all have seen, prime example, Steph Curry. I'm not saying Brunson is as good as Steph Curry. I'm not going there. But in the beginning, Curry wasn't a superstar.
No.
They almost gave up on him. Mm-hmm. Worked his butt off, and then now look. I'm saying you guys seen this before. Y'all seen a guy that didn't get the proper opportunity. Now that he's getting the opportunity, because Golden State could have made the mistake and got rid of Curry and kept your man as the leader. Mm-hmm. So that's what hurts me more than anything, is that players, same thing with Paul Pierce. Y'all see Rondo? Y'all seen the struggles he had in the beginning? It took a Kevin Garnett to go, nah, keep that kid, because I see the potential and I see the special in him. So for y'all guys to know the game, play the game, be around situations like this and still doubt him, there's only one thing I can think of. Y'all hate the Knicks that much. Because if Brunson was doing this on any other team, y'all would be going berserk. I'm saying as far as former and current players.
Mm-hmm. I agree. He's we got to win. We got to win something.
Agree.
We got to win something, and that's just the cut and dry of it. We can go back and forth about what it is, OG. We got to win something, and when we win something, they can't tell you anything anymore.
But
Curry had to win.
But Fleet, they gotta be fair with us.
Mm-hmm.
We've been unhealthy all season. So don't don't tell us we gotta win something. Like, let's just say we lose the second round or we get to the Eastern Conference finals and we lose, and now they roasting us. No. Be fair with us. Do not minimize what we've been doing for the past 2 years, and this year was special. We don't have our guys. We've been unhealthy all season. So all I'm saying is, all you fake ballers, all you guys that think y'all know it all, be fair. Be fair. That's all I ask. That's all I ask, Flea.
I said Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid lost. He even showed Bailey. Come on, man. Derek White. I think
understand why certain guys is on that list. I understand how important Derek White is to Boston, but is he more important to Boston than Jalen Brunson is to the Knicks?
Was he more valuable in the first round? It's just impossible.
Hell no.
And they lost the game. They weren't supposed to lose the game, and they lost the game. So how important? Well, how valuable was he?
Hey, fellas, I gotta run. I'm about to go downtown, meet some people. It's going down game 2. Meet them at this bar down by the garden. When I get down, if y'all still on, I'm gonna jump back on, but I gotta start getting myself together. Flea, always good to see you, my brother.
Yes, OG, love you, boy.
Fabian, love y'all.
All right.
So before we get into the game 2 preview, let's get into our guy Christian Castillo with the super chat.
Christian Castillo, we appreciate you, man.
Yo, he's in here, hard body karate. Greatest fan base in the biz. We stayed loyal when there was no incentive to. It wasn't with us shooting in the gym.
Fact though. You wasn't with us shooting in the gym. You wasn't with us. You wasn't with us. You wasn't with us. We had some bad rosters, y'all. Some bad rosters. Lou Amundsen was starting for us at one point, y'all. Big shout out Lou Amundsen. Andrea Bargnani. Big shout out Andrea Bargnani.
That's why we were mad at Leon Rose.
We thought we had fire in a bottle with Pablo Prigioni. Big shout out Pablo Prigioni. Like, come on, y'all wasn't around for certain times, man. We can bask in this for a second. We are at the top of all these shows. We're at the top of the conversation. Obviously, we dominate the back page of the Post, back page of the news, back page of the Newsday, right? Did I get all 3? I'm in Houston, but I ain't out of touch. I know my papers. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Yeah. Yeah. My God.
Shout out my niggas.
My nigga, put your glasses back on.
My bad. Yo, I dropped the ball on that. My nigga, Knicks 100. I dropped the ball on that. My fault. Damn, my bad. He was just, he shook me up. I ain't gonna lie. I came on here like, I don't care about no Draymond Green. He turned to the Hulk. I was like, oh no. What do I say? How do I calm him down?
You should have told me put your glasses back on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I messed that up. I dropped the ball, man.
That's all
damn.
Good. That's all good.
So that was already crazy enough. One more ESPN topic, because we want to infuriate the fan base, get us riled up. How these people really don't rock with us, keeping Jalen Brunson out of a top 5 MVP caliber conversation in the playoffs so far. Brian Windhorst, the LeBron backpack, and I am using those words kindly because I don't want to, get kicked off live right now. Brian Windhorst decided to compare Linsanity to Brunsanity. Nobody ever used the term Brunsanity. That's how corny this thing is, because nobody said Brunsanity, bro. Brunson Burner. There's so many names for this, man. He even got the Selly. Anyway,
the thing about it is the crowd believes in Brunson. They know Brunson's going to carry them home, and that connection with the crowd and Brunson is what we're going to be talking and showing this run in 20 years. I mean, Linsanity.
Oh, wow.
Sanity was crazy. This is Brunsanity, and I don't see it stopping anytime soon. And we're going to have more special nights in the Garden, I think, in the very near future.
I don't like the way you said that, Brian.
Yeah.
That was okay. Oh, fuck
Well,
that. That was corny.
yeah,
It was corny. Brunson.
it was. Yeah, it was because we got to be careful about this. And I just spoke on in the beginning. I was comparing, like, how television and what the Willis Reed moment was today, 54 years ago. What that meant and why that is legendary. Why it lasted so. So I don't want to take away Linsanity's moment. Those 2 weeks, it is what it is. But it is referred to as this lightning in a bottle 2-week moment. It is. We do all reminded of the Miami Heat locking them up, and it's like another little slight to the New York Knicks fan base for calling us delusional and like we don't know what we're talking about because Jalen Brunson's doing his thing and he's actually following through with what exactly we've been promoting the last year and a half. That's what I don't like about it. It's just lazy. And he's a reporter. And again, this is ESPN doing this. They don't really know how to. I think it really hit the NBA by storm, and they don't know how to promote it because they're usually told what to say in different kind of ways because we know how this works. We're on YouTube. We see what works for us, what names don't, what names do work for us. So we get that. So I'll put the name in the thumbnail on a go live and we talk about whatever we want to talk about because I know my people Flea, All Ball, Dime. Y'all gonna carry the weight in terms of what, how to talk about basketball, what to talk about basketball. I personally enjoy speaking to you guys about basketball. So this thing's gonna be fun. Y'all motherfuckers wouldn't even be hanging out with each other at ESPN if it wasn't for that Disney Mickey Mouse money. And this is what happens. You come up with lazy talking points like this. Brunsanity? This ain't no 2 weeks, dog. It's been 2 years, 3 years in the make flee. I asked the question yesterday. What player has left an MVP caliber star to become an MVP himself? Damn near. An MVP caliber player themselves. He left Luka Doncic and became an MVP caliber guy.
Right. Only guy I can think of is James Harden. The only guy I can think of who left a
Two.
two, obviously two, but that was a completely unique situation. But to answer the question, like only guy that comes to mind quickly is James Harden leaving Kevin and becoming who he was out here in Houston. So, but to be honest with you, obviously Brunson is not the scorer that James Harden was for that period, right? The effect that he had on basketball, right? We always talk about, me and you have got into it on several occasions, and I think we both agree that, at one point it became unwatchable. I did not enjoy watching James Harden play basketball. Although he was a bucket, right? Produced a lot of wins, it wasn't enjoyable for me to watch him do what he was doing. It is enjoyable to watch Jalen Brunson do what he's doing, right? I'm always talking about Jalen Brunson leads the league in dribbles. The amount of times the basketball is dribbled, Jalen Brunson leads the league. But it doesn't feel like it from a watching standpoint. I know that it's a fact, right? I can't lie about the numbers, right? And so James Harden led the league in dribbles too. But you felt that. Like you felt how high isolation basketball that dude used to play when he did start moving it, right? When he did start leading the league in assists, right? While he is averaging over 30, right? It started to look beautiful because Houston could shoot threes, the ball moved, right? It looked beautiful. And you're starting to see that now with Brunson. As Josh Hart is becoming a more reliable shooter, as Deuce McBride is becoming a more reliable shooter, Dante DiVincenzo becoming a more reliable shooter, getting OG Anunoby in spots where he can get creative and get to the rim or knock down open shots, right? Like Brunson's playmaking ability is starting to shine a lot more. He's a guy that he's gonna do like Windhorst said. We love him. We think he's gonna take us home every night. But don't get it messed up. Throughout that 48 minutes, there's so much more that's going on with our basketball team besides Jalen Brunson. Josh Hart is everything you want out of a basketball player. He does that. Dante DiVincenzo, anytime he's out there, 135 million %. Like all of these guys play with a level of tenacity, sense of urgency, togetherness, toughness that if Jalen Brunson didn't have that, we would struggle. So you know, it's a big shout out to him, but it's also a big shout out to who he's playing next to, and how much they know. Like, we got to make this young man look good. We got to do everything to not be able to tear him down. And you can't tear him down because he's doing those first 2 games against Philly. Everybody was nervous, like, uh-oh, what's going on with Jalen Brunson? Is he worn out? Is he tired? He doesn't have the wheels. What's going on? He got that second win while we were able to get us to a 2-0 lead. With him shooting 27% from the field, we were able to get to a 2-0 lead, and he said, I got y'all. I'm gonna take us home. We're a better team than people give us credit for, man. We really are.
Led by Brunson, and we were never led by Lynn, even though those 2 weeks it seemed like it. But after that Heat thing, it was a debacle.
They threw Rio at him. They threw D Wade at him. They threw Braun at him. They threw Shane Battier at him. They threw everybody at him, right? And it's not like he was getting cooked. It looked like guys was taking turns. Like, I'm licking my chops. Yeah, let me get him. His next 3 possessions is me. Now Rio, move. I want it. And he was in hell. He was in hell. And that Linsanity no more. After that, no more.
And I've seen Braun do that several times. Braun did it against Porzingis the second time with the New York Star. I don't know if it was because Melo was still here and they were intentionally like, yo, we're gonna get him out of here. Like that, it seems to be a thing.
That's the flip cup game.
Yeah, when they were riding the train and everything.
That's the flip bottle game.
Yeah, riding the New York City transit trains. And then the second time I saw him like blatantly do that was against Luka Doncic, and that's when he gave him a pound. Like, oh, nah, you're the real deal. They beat him up badly in Dallas. It was a close game. I think Luka missed the game winner, but you can see they were like trying to feast upon him, and they kind of did that this year with Brunson. They was double teaming him a lot, and LeBron
against LA. Right. We lost that game at home,
right? Because LeBron guarded Brunson for the final play or one of the final plays. So we get what everybody's saying. He's a little guy. He's Mighty Mouse. But stop making these comparisons, man. This ain't no damn like that's just a lazy comparison. Linsanity was just not this. He was proven to be not this in such a shorter amount of time. And we've had too many experiments, too many challenges, too many times that all right, is this the real deal? That's what it was with me, Flea. I know I can, when I'm behind something, I usually just feel what I'm saying and I can get really passionate. But for me to be this passionate about it, nah, I gotta hate on you first. I gotta hate on you first. Yeah. Hold on, let me see what this guy's about. And with Brunson, it was hard to hate on because of, again, even the contract. Everything about Brunson is so much more, it lands differently in New York, especially for a fan, because they were trying to remember J.R. Smith and Carmelo kind of spoke out of pocket about Lynn's contract, but at the same time, it spoke to, hold on, you're making too much money, bro. So maybe some of the fans, remember, we're arguing amongst each other. Yo, I ain't giving him no $30 million. You crazy? So I don't care if you dress it up as a poison pill contract, this, that, and the third. No, we're not going to give him that money. So a lot of these things was becoming, after the Miami Heat game, it was almost like resent attached to Jeremy Lin after the Linsanity. With Brunson, he comes in with a contract that's like, bro, he ain't even top 10 contract for point guards in the league. How is this expensive? He comes in there kind of sneaking in there. He got his godfather as the general manager. Like, hold on, let's see. You better do something because you got the fix in here in New York City. And he's done nothing but prove himself to be great.
Baby, and they said we overpaid him. You remember that?
Right.
They said we overpaid Brunson. They said
I never thought that.
We're gonna hate that deal for giving him $100 million. This is the friendliest deal in the league right now. He's outplayed the deal in the first 2 games that he played with us. Like, we was like, whoa, okay, we got a huge discount on this dude. Like, we got a huge. Let's be grateful. New York Knicks fan base, please be grateful for what Jalen Brunson has done for us the last 2 seasons.
And I mean, hold on, kudos to you for bringing up James Harden because that was crazy. James Harden was a top 10 pick for OKC.
Yes.
Yes. Damn. I wanted to surprise you and remember the school, but I don't remember the school he played for.
Arizona State.
Oh no, Arizona's where Gilbert Arenas went to, and yes. Lou, I say his name, the coach.
Lou Olson.
Lou Olson.
So Arizona is is Gilbert, Richard Jefferson, Channing Frye, Luke
Steve
Walton,
Kerr.
Steve Kerr, Damon Stoudemire, Khalid Reeves, those guys.
Okay, so but a great point about bringing up James Harden.
Arizona State, James Harden, Eddie House, another great Arizona State. I'm missing some guys, but those two guys jump out early. Those two guys.
But it was a great point to bring him up because I couldn't remember someone who just left the MVP and became an MVP caliber guy. There was something around James Harden by the time he got to Houston, though. It was like, yo, this might be even more so than Jeremy. I mean, he was already Harden was already Ginobili 2.0.
Yeah.
Brunson wasn't quite that, but it was like we overlooked some things. Like even when we sound like a broken record, helping the Mavericks win those 3 games when Luka was out the first round against
Utah.
Against Utah, right? Because he beat Donovan Mitchell back-to-back seasons. So this is the 3rd season he's out of the first round. Harden kind of struggled being the lead dog like that, and this guy made up for not having the lead dog, and then comes to New York and becomes the lead dog. Yeah. So like this Brunson, they're just lazy. They don't know what to do, man. They really don't. We're coming up with these lists, these fake. I mean, they got LeBron's number 3 most valuable according to them, and they got his schlep, his lackey on ESPN talking about Jeremy Lin. This is Jeremy Lin all over again. His schlep. Did I use that correctly? Let me look that up. Schlep. 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 A haul or carry, a tedious, difficult journey. Another term for schlepper.
It works. Forget it. It works.
She slept her groceries home. Something heavy or awkward. Yeah, Brian, when you all of schlep.
Heavy and awkward.
Come on. Oh. Put your glasses back on, baby.
Put your glasses back on.
So let's do it. Game 2. What do we expect to see? Worldwide flee. What do you expect to see from the Knicks and the Pacers? Do you see any adjustments coming up? What do you want to see? What do you think you'll see?
I want to see more of the same kind of basketball that we played in the second half of that game. I want us to dictate pace. I want us to, dominate the backboard. If we dominate the backboard, we dictate pace. We continue to hit open shots. We continue to key in on Halliburton. Halliburton is the head of the snake over there in Indiana. He had a fabulous season, right? One of the top 10 point guards in the NBA. I don't think that's even debatable, right? He had a great season, led that Indiana Pacers team to the playoffs. But this is new territory for that young man. It is new territory. He was able to get out the first round with the help of, some injuries that happened in Milwaukee. So this is his first, and Dame being injured, right? So this is his first real test from another top point guard in the NBA who sees blood. Brunson sees blood. Brunson sees the potential of the Knicks being in the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in almost 20 years, right? He sees that we have a golden opportunity to do that. I just think Indiana is happy to be here right now. I just think that they're happy to be here. I don't think their coach believes that. That's a championship level coach. They got a championship level player over there in Siakam. But for the most part, the core of that team, I think, is just happy to be here. They got out the first round, and now they're competing, against the second seed in the Eastern Conference. We don't just look happy to be here. We look like we want more. Every time I hear these guys talk, every time I see these guys playing, they want more. They just want more.
I think you were saying you didn't give me a chance to explain Siakam and what I don't like about how he plays with the Knicks in the first round and even now in game 1. But I think when you look at the offense, you look at Brunson and how he's playing, and then we go, oh yeah, this is it. Because first 2 games against the 76ers, you see Brunson struggling. It's like, all right, somebody got to pick it up because they're targeting him and he hasn't figured out the double team, the timing yet. It's just they're targeting him. It just is what it is. And the way you can look at him, and he's like a barometer for the offense, and you go, this is going to be difficult today. But when he's smooth sailing, it's like, get ready. Y'all, listen, all right, now somebody else got to hit their open shots because once Brunson gets going, it's over. He's in. It's easier for him to get into a rhythm. It's over. It's the same thing for me for OG on the defensive end. When I see him doing certain things, dominating a certain way, excited in certain ways, it becomes different. When again, that game 4 with the 76ers, that's why I was so excited about that. I understand he played the back line against the 76ers, kind of a rim protector. I don't know if he can do that much with this team, but they have to figure out where he can dominate from in this series. And Tibbs, I'm going to trust him with that because he did squeak out the victory to me last series, or squeak out his style of play, his strategy. But I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to do here because to me, you sent me a wonderful Instagram post earlier comparing the Baltimore Ravens to the current Minnesota Timberwolves, who look, I was rewatching that game earlier. Jesus Christ. Baby. This is what happens when you have a number one team, and I'm going to hand it off to you like this. When you have a number one team and defensively, the referees in the league are going to tell you they're going to get away with a lot more because that's what they earn. OG Anunoby is a all defensive second team. He's going to get away with a lot more. So I want to see him utilize a certain way. And then from there, we'll see how they go defensively today.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you mentioned that little clip that I sent you, because if anybody's watching, if you're used to Fabian now, you understand that he compares basketball to football a lot. He compares basketball to wrestling a lot, and his analogies are amazing sometimes and make you think. Right, when he puts certain things together, I really appreciate when you do that, bro, because it gives it a different look, especially for people who may struggle with trying to look at the game of basketball. They're like, okay, I can relate it to football, I can relate it to wrestling. You're great at that. I'm so glad that you were able to rewatch Game 2 of the Western Conference semifinals between Minnesota and Denver. If you are a child out there, if you are an aspiring hooper out there, if you are a lover of the game out there, that was a master class on how to play defense. Minnesota ran a master class on defending the Denver Nuggets. It starts with defending Jamal Murray. If All Ball was up here, All Ball is adamant on reminding us that the head of that snake in Denver is Jamal Murray. Joker is phenomenal, but where it starts and ends is with Jamal Murray. If you can fluster that dude and get him out of his set and get him out of his rhythm, or not even allow him to get into a rhythm, that team looks night and day different. They had this dude throwing towels, throwing heating pads from the bench. They had this Denver team flustered. And I'm talking about hard-nosed, doubling at the hash marks, right? Doubling at the corners, getting the ball out of his hand, throwing different looks at Joker, being physical with him, making him take 2 and 3 shots. Like, that shit was a masterclass. I was thoroughly excited watching that shit from a guy that loves defense and, was a guy that loved to play Man, listen, them boys get after it. They get after it. Very, very, and big shout out to Ryan Russillo because he was trying his best not to compare, because that 2000 Ravens team is just historical. 86 Bears, historical. 87, what is that? 87 or 91 Giants, whatever one, like historical defenses. It ain't, Minnesota's been the number one defense all year, man. If they win the championship this year, I would not be surprised because it starts there. Yeah, play the clip for everybody, man. I thought this was great.
Form. I don't like comparing anything to that Ravens defense from over 20 years ago. I don't like ever compare it. That's how I am. I wouldn't say prideful. It wasn't like I was a Ravens fan or ever have been, but I am defensive of the status of what that team was. Like, I don't want anything to ever be compared to them, because the best thing you could have said when you watched them every week, you were like, and again, I wasn't watching every Ravens game every time during that week, but during that run towards the end of the year, you're like, it feels like they have 13 guys on defense. This is insane. And when Reggie Miller was like, it looks like they have 7 guys, that's what it felt like. Because when you caught the ball, there was someone else there. When you got it on a handoff and turned to cut, there was someone else there. When you got a screen up top or off to the side and you're like, okay, I'm going to have a clear angle for a quick pull up here. If I go right to the screen and pull up, the defender can't recover that quickly. Nope. Someone would be there. When you went up to reach for a rebound, it was never clean. There was always someone there. When you went to bring it up over half court, you had an escort, and then there was also a valet waiting for you if you even made it past half court cleanly. And when you stopped with the ball, you were dead. When you're watching the Wolves swarm, I don't like comparing.
When you picked up your dribble, you were dead. I won't compare the Knicks. I'm gonna let you go, brother. But I won't compare the Knicks to the Minnesota Timberwolves. But we lock in on defense the same way. We lock in on defense the same way. We have some of the same similar, versatile guys on the wings. It's just that 3-headed monster that they have down there, them 3 bigs that they could throw at Joker with Gobert, Cat, and Nas Reed, is not something that we particularly have. We got 3 bigs, but we don't have 3 bigs that can do what those 3 bigs do. So, I expect a win tonight. I expect to go back to Indiana up 2-0.
No, we can keep with the Timberwolves thing, because I'll just chop it up as a Timberwolves topic. We'll see how it does on the other channel. That's what we do out here, trying to show you how to make money on this YouTube thing.
Heard you.
But the reason why I don't even think you understand how that Ravens team, for me, I used to play Madden back then. I picked them before they won. I smoked everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I could throw it. You're done. I used to know how to run. Like if you had somebody, throw somebody on the line of scrimmage, I used to press run. It was McAllister was a cornerback because Ed Reed wasn't there yet.
Ed wasn't there. That's too early.
McAllister, and I forgot who the other cornerback was. Rod Woodson was there as our safety. That's why I was a big Dion fan, but I don't like to let people overlook Rod Woodson, how he went from cornerback to the backfield to the other level in the secondary as a safety and became one of the top safeties for the Ravens and the Raiders. Rod Woodson's back there. That front 7 is crazy. You don't understand how much that Ravens team meant to me. So when you said that, I was like, what's Russillo doing? And even he said it. Everything he said, I thought. By the way, also, I love Ryan Russillo.
I do.
Like everything about that, when you said it, I was like, oh, Flea loves me.
Yeah, but that's my guy. That's my guy. I like Ryan. I've always liked Ryan. He's a bug out too. He's a bug out. He's a bug out.
But, I thought there was some beef with him and Van Lathan. I thought there was like I don't know if it was a white and black thing, but
I'm not familiar with any back and forth between them.
No, at all. And they just did a piece on Deion Sanders that's like, I want to watch that on here. Because I wasn't aware Deion's beefing with people online, like different players. Like they get into a deep dive. Like Van Lathan's like, bro, after that first couple games, they were done in Colorado. Y'all just weren't watching college football. He said, once I knew Bill Simmons bought in, I knew it was over for Colorado and then Deion Sanders. Because you're a casual guy. You don't watch college football. Everything about that was dope. And to see him and Ryan Russillo break down. Ryan Russillo was a student of any game. All his breakdowns are crazy. That was my point with JJ Redick before too. There ain't no difference between, like, if you break down JJ Redick and Ryan Russillo, if you ask me who's better at breaking the game down, JJ Redick ain't messing with Ryan Russillo, in my opinion. In my opinion, Ryan Russillo has zero bias, zero, and he catches a lot of flack, a lot for his stances. That's why I really like that guy. I like the guys that take a chance. Someone like Jason Whitlock that nobody likes right now. He's the guy that was really talking about Deion Sanders, and it made you feel like, is Deion that bad? So I gotta go find somebody else to go. And Van Lathan spoke on it like, listen, it's going down in Colorado. And then Ryan Russillo spoke on it. And I'm like, okay, because that's the guy who I know. Ryan Russillo is gonna tell me like it is, how it is, and I would like to believe that's how I am with a little, New York flavor. But this breakdown was crazy because I would have thought the 2001 Tampa Bay Buccaneers were more like this Minnesota team because you're not allowed to play as physical as the Timberwolves. But then I rewatched game 2. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. It's the switch from, all right, you could switch on defense. They're switching from like, I don't know how you call it. You could break it down better for me, Flea. They're switching from like one wing will go from one wing to the corner where the defender switched off to the top of the like they say the right wing. Somebody on the left wing is running to the corner, to the right corner that the defender just left. What I'm watching is like, oh, this is football.
They swarm. Their rotations are so unorthodox. Like their rotations are super duper unorthodox, man. It's beautiful to watch. I believe they're about to announce the MVP.
Oh, TNT just opened up. It's talking Brunson.
Yeah.
Let me know what they said. We're gonna use that for tomorrow's Serious Cash. Right on cue. Pun intended. Serious Cash.
They look like they announced the MVP.
Yeah, but that Ravens team means the world to me. And I guess as far as game 2 is concerned with the Pacers, I think we spoke on that. I don't think we were as intense as the Timberwolves. I think their personnel is different. And
they got a lot of young Thundercats over there that fly around, that are athletic, long. Like they have 1, 2, 3, 4 guys that are like long, athletic, can switch 1 through 4. Like I said, some of their rotations just seem so unorthodox. It's like you shouldn't even be able to get to that spot, but you got there. How the hell did you get there, Alexander Walker? Or how the hell did you get there, McDaniels? How? They got Kyle Anderson playing defense. Slow-mo is out there defending, moving the puppies. Like
Nas Reed, they're all clamping up Joker for as long as possible. That we spoke ad nauseum about the Goldberg trade and how Minnesota won that. Clearly, in my opinion, at this point, they tilted. They got the culture, everything. But the one that's overlooked is the Lakers and Minnesota trade. That's where they got the kid that you just mentioned. Again, we working over here in with intuition. We like Professor X out here. We work. Me and Flea talk to each other with through the minds. Mike Conley and Alexander Walker and picks they got from with a combination of Utah and the Lakers. That trade is now super underrated because you got Mike Conley to run the point guard and take point guard duties. They had Slow-mo bringing the ball up. I saw Nas Reed bringing the ball up. And it was somebody else that surprised me who brought the ball up. But this guy, Alexander Walker, could bring the ball up. Alexander Walker, Nas Reed, McDaniels, Conley, of course, Ant-Man. Bro, to make Ant-Man basically, in my opinion, at times your third or fourth best defensive player because of the likes of Alexander Walker, they was like you talk about bothering and getting into Murray's head. This is why, like, what's his name? Conley, the GM.
Tim Connolly.
Tim Connolly. This is masterful, bro. We're talking about
he built
sweeping
Denver.
The champions.
He built Denver and now built Minnesota to beat Denver.
And, hold on, I'm sorry. Before I forget. Yeah, maybe Flea was a little too early. And yeah, maybe Denver somehow had a late season push. This is looking bad. What did you guys do in the offseason to ensure you make it out of the second round, let alone to make it to the conference finals or the championship? Not knowing OKC and Minnesota all of a sudden are going to jump up You were thinking your competition was who exactly? None of us would have thought Minnesota and OKC would have leapfrogged from damn near playing eighth in the seeding to number one, competing with you for number one. You certainly overlooked that. But to not have anyone competing against the OKCs of the world and thinking that Joker would take over against them, Minnesota, you talk about they're a matchup problem for everyone. But I digress. This is biting them in the ass. The Prophet Worldwide Fleet himself, he told you before the season even started, yo, not for nothing, but why shouldn't Denver end up in 6th or 7th? And now they might lose to the other team that was vying for the number one spot. Flea, do you expect a sweep? And how do you feel about being right?
Well, I don't know if I can take my victory lap yet. I like to stay humble, right? I like to stay humble. So I'll leave it up to you to boost up my take for me. You know, you my brother. So I don't know if I should take my victory lap yet, but I will say this. It wasn't that I could call them struggling against Minnesota. I just called that in the history of teams that have won championships, especially the teams that have gone back to back, there is always a tweak. There is always something that is upgraded because you go back into the season after winning the championship with the bullseye on your back. You go back. You don't go as the hunter. You go as the hunted. Now, like things change, roles change, teams look at you different when you walking into the gym. The fans are different because you're the reigning defending champions, right? Everything is different. So I figured that because they lost two big pieces for that championship team, Uncle Jeff is old, but Uncle was great for them last season for Denver in that playoff run, championship run. Great. Bruce Brown looks different in these other places. He's moved around twice since leaving. That happens with guys. Like I always say, good money, all money ain't great money. So he got paid, good for him. But I would have tried to find a way to make that marriage work between Denver because you could have won more instead of made more money. But at the end of the day, money is money. I get it. But you lose Bruce Brown. He was a big piece for what y'all did last season. And just in terms of being able to guard at the guard position, just being able to guard. So I thought that they should have added something. Whatever that something is, I'm not sure. But you add something because you're not unbeatable. And it's showing right now. That strategy that was, run by the Lakers in the bubble. What Vogel was able to do when he had JaVale McGee, Anthony Davis, and Dwight Howard, and just completely throw different kinds of looks at Joker. And what I mean by different kinds of looks, somebody that's taller, somebody that's a little stronger, somebody that's a little more versatile, longer, right? You get JaVale McGee in there, and he's long and he's tall, and he can block shots. You get Anthony Davis in there, he's athletic, he can move his feet, he can move with him. You get Dwight Howard in there, Dwight will put the forearm there, you're not moving. If I get up under you, Dwight is a strong dude. If I get up under you, no homo, no pause, if I get up under you, it's curtains, all she wrote. I'm watching now. I'm watching Gobert be that McGee. I'm watching Cat be that Anthony Davis, and I'm watching Naz Reid be that Dwight Howard. So they got their work cut out for them, man. They got their work cut out for them. They cannot go down 0-3 tonight. They have to win tonight to keep this a series. They lose tonight, I don't have them being swept. I think they're a better team than that. But I got them losing this series if they lose tonight. And Joker just won his third MVP.
I'm not saying there's a lot that comes with this if Joker loses and gets swept out by the Minnesota Timberwolves. If they lose today, it's over. If they lose the first quarter, it's over. I mean, they got beat. They basically got swept out of they lost home court advantage.
1,000%.
You just lost home court advantage. It wasn't one game, it was 2 games.
No, you completely lost home court advantage. You have to win these 2 games to get it back to the crib.
I think so. I think so because it's too much pressure to go up 2-1 with this style of play. It's what I said about Joker. He's dominant for his era. It's the reason why when comparing players, it's tough because yes, you're great for this time period, but then when we compare it to somebody else dominating their time period, we have to factor in so much that it requires imagination. It just does. You're guessing at a certain point, but regardless of how great, how much you feel, and whatever you think is backed up by whatever point. So now let's go back. Dom is gonna love this. Shouldn't be no more disrespect going on Will Chamberlain and Bill Russell anymore. Let's knock it off because ain't no Will Chamberlains and Bill Russells running around here today. None. Ain't no defense. Ain't no Bill Russell out here. Like, let's keep it. Anthony Davis, all these guys. You ain't no Bill Russell. Even Gobert. You really ain't Bill Russell. We kind of question your. So my point is, Joker, you're great, but you're winning in this era, and it's showing improving right now. Not to say we haven't seen this before. Avita Sabonis, all these other guys. I like to celebrate our guys too, but damn, I didn't expect them to smoke them 2 games. Smoke them, Flea. In that, like Denver's and Utah, the only not just home, bro. You're at home with the high altitude. You're at home with with football analogy, with the only real football style home court advantage, where the weather and the climate and the atmosphere affect the play.
That Timberwolves team doesn't even look like it takes the first 5 minutes of the game to get acclimated to that out. They thumped them from the word go. From the word go, they on their backs. Pause. Like it's those 2 games were very telling about 2 things. One, how good this Minnesota Timberwolves team is, right? It said a lot about who they are. And this is the first time that I'm seeing this Denver team have a little bit of adversity over the last year and a half or so. It's the first time I'm seeing what y'all gonna do. What y'all gonna do?
Please stay right there. With Joker and Jamal Murray, no excuses.
Boom. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You got punched in the mouth twice, and your back is on the mat right now. You got to get up. You're the champions. Like I said, it's a different stroll in the park. Different stroll in the park. Right? You done bullied everybody. You bullied everybody all year last year. Got in the playoffs, bullied everybody. Won the championship. Right? Your guy just won MVP. Right? Like, he's got 3 of the last 4 MVPs. People look at this Denver team like they are perfectly constructed. Tim Connolly left that team in great shape. He said, all right, let me go over here and get another project because this is perfect. I added Aaron Gordon. Bah, that's perfect. Here we go. Go. And they go get a championship. So this is the first time I see that they're dealing with some adversity. I would like to see how they react to it, what they do tonight, what kind of adjustments they make. Mike Malone is a hell of a coach. Comes from good stock, right? Rich bloodline of basketball minds. His daddy, Brendan Malone, he was, a longtime assistant coach for the New York Knicks, longtime coach in the NBA and all of that. So, Mike Malone.
Him and Mike coached Sacramento together. He went to Rice High School.
Right.
Brendan Malone.
Right. So, this is like I said, rich bloodline. So, we'll see. But man, I like Denver being on the ropes and seeing them, they've been the darlings the last year and a half. People have, put them at such a high status. I want to see how they react being down 0-2.
So I'm wondering if this guy Sachin Gupta, because I thought he was a general manager until you said Tim Connolly the other day, and I overlooked it. Sachin Gupta, and I know we're doing Timberwolves guy, but thanks for guys staying in the building. It was over 100 of you guys. Now it's still over 90 people in the building still watching us talk about the game itself.
Appreciate y'all.
Breaking it down. This guy Sachin Gupta is an executive. He's in Minnesota. In 2019, became the EVP of basketball operations under President Goran Rosas. Gupta
Yeah.
provides specialized expertise. Okay. In 2021, shortly after Rosas was relieved his duties, Gupta was promoted as the new interim president of basketball operations while keeping his role as EVP of basketball operations. Is he still? I don't see anywhere where he's not with the Wolves anymore. But the reason why this is significant is because he's my age, 40. I'm about to be 42 this year. He just turned 42 on March 17th. He went to MIT. He created the ESPN trade machine. That's the guy that's running the Minnesota, and I thought was running Minnesota for a while. So for him to hire Tim Connolly, like these are the ins and outs.
Smart dude to do that, to go rob the rich to get richer, right? Tim Connolly, you know, big shout out to Calvin Booth. Calvin Booth got the job now with Denver. Big shout out to him. I hope he does a great job. He's maintaining it right now, so that's great. But that's a smart move by Gupta to go and get probably one of the top execs in the league, you know, outside of Masai Ujiri, right? Like outside of Masai, Connolly has to be up there as one of the best. I think Connolly, I think Masai, I think quietly Brad Stevens, to be honest with you.
OKC Sam Presti got to be up there.
Presti 1000%. I think Presti, Leon Rose needs some love right now in terms of what he's done. Obviously, over the years, Bob Myers did an amazing job over there in Golden State. And lastly, I would probably say, well, I'm gonna leave him off the list. I think Morey is overrated. I think Daryl Morey is a little overrated. I would leave him off the list.
Ooh.
From me.
I think his biggest struggle is that it took me, I had to Google Sachin Gupta's picture. You know what I mean? I had to Google that.
Mm-hmm.
His image. You ain't got to Google Daryl Morey's image. The thing pops up. He wants to be a star like everybody else. That's his biggest problem.
He wants to be a star.
That's his biggest problem. Pat Riley, we knew he was a Wolf of Wall Street on the sideline, and he had the part and everything. But ever since he become the Miami exec and basically the partial owner, the other day was masterful what he did to his team. But that's the end of the season. He's on brand. Yo, bro, you ain't playing. Stop talking, Jimmy Butler. End of the season. Now I get to come out, and the big boss is out here gonna tell you where we went wrong. But again, he's behind the scenes more or less. The guys you mentioned so far is amazing.
He's one of the most overrated people in NBA history.
Daryl Morey?
Reggie Miller.
Nah, come on.
He's one of the most overrated people in basketball history.
Let's lead the way. Yesterday was the day I mentioned it. Was Reggie Miller's 8 points in 9 seconds and whatever it was.
Even that moment, I cried. I remember crying tears when that happened. But even that moment, I look back now and I'm just like,
Keep going. I'm gonna cropping this up. I'm gonna put it as the.
I look at it like this. Reggie Miller is talked about way better than he actually was. Like, was Reggie ever a top 3 player at his position? Ever? He's been on all NBA. He's made all the NBA teams. So I guess that answers the question. But even that is like debatable. He made 3 all NBA teams, but I don't even think he's ever made first team all NBA. He has 5 all-stars in his career. But the way we talk about him, you would think that he's a 10-time all-star. Like this. I was never really impressed with him. A pro, yeah, but I'm comparing him to his peers and the guys around him. You had a rivalry with John Starks. What does that really say about you? Like, you didn't rival Jordan. He was never as good as Jordan. Ever. Never. It just kills me that we talk about this dude like, and then I get one of my mans and say, "Well, he was the best player on the Indiana Pacers for a decade." So what? So what? Put me on there. I'll be the best player for a decade for the Pacers. Sick of this dude, man.
Shout out to Chuck Person, man.
Big shout out to that to the rifleman, man. Big
Oh
shout
my
out to the
God. Hold
Dunkin'
on.
Dutchman, man.
You got a better nickname than the Rifleman.
Not too many bet out there.
Crazy. Reggie Miller overrated. That's tough. Who can you compare him to this in this era in terms of overrated?
I don't know. Reggie Miller just they had good teams. Yeah, they had tough teams, but you can't hand the ball off to Reggie Miller and tell him take me home. Like,
oh nah, man. All them classic moments.
Classic shots.
Still moments, still legendary.
Here,
play the villain.
Reggie, take us home.
Right.
No.
But let's hold on. But he is the blueprint
to what?
To Rip Hamilton, Steph Curry, everybody in this era, off ball, heliocentric basketball. That I hate that term. He is the blueprint to it. He's one of pioneer to it. They made an entire offense surrounding Reggie Miller. Overrated. Yeah. Who is he rated with? To be honest with you, we're gonna be real about Reggie Miller.
I mean,
broadcasting, he stinks. I like his voice. I thought he'd be better.
We're talking about as a basketball player. Like you said, Steph Curry. Reggie Miller couldn't put the ball on the floor, create another shot aside from the shot that he's getting coming off the screen or coming off 2 down screens or coming off running the baseline. What's he going to put it on the floor? Get busy? I mean, you call it what you want. I knew that was coming. Call it what you want. He was never very impressive to me. Never. Great moments. I got a lot of guys in the NBA that had great moments.
I'm about to triple down on what Flea's saying. They acted like that 8 points in 8 minutes. What happened after that? They got bounced.
I mean,
they didn't win.
They won that series in '95. They won that series against us, but they lost. They lost to Orlando in the conference finals.
That was 95.
Yeah, that was 95. I think that even went 7-2. Like they had tough teams, but as a basketball player, like when I watch all these other guys, he was one-dimensional for me. He was one-dimensional. He was. I don't know. I don't know. You're not gonna get me to say too many good things about him because he's put up there, and then they ushered him right into the Hall of Fame. Didn't even think about it. Like it's like, damn, god damn. I'm gonna have some guys that will parallel to him soon. Y'all know how great I am with my homework. I'm gonna do some homework. And I'm going to get some comparable careers to Reggie Miller, and we're going to see if we're going to usher those guys into the Hall of Fame the way the NBA or the way Naismith or whatever you want to call it ushered this dude into the Hall of Fame.
I think Ben Taylor had – I think it was Ben Taylor that had a
good call, Christian. They don't remember Lefty Travis Best.
He had a podcast comparing Reggie Miller, Klay Thompson, and Ray Allen. And to me, I don't know if it's nostalgia with Ray Allen or what, but young Ray Allen, Klay Thompson, or Reggie Miller is not messing with him. I think he puts the ball on the floor, like you said, and he's just more athletic. And I think he's more of a one.
Ray was different, bro. Ray was a different type of gangster, man. Ray developed that as the career went on. Ray became a great 3-point shooter. He didn't enter the NBA as just the best 3-point shooter. Ray came in the
I thought he did.
Ray became a shooter. Ray didn't rely on just being able to shoot as a guy when he came in as a buck and as
right.
I'm saying that became his paramount skill over time. But when Ray first came in the league, let's say the first 5 years of his career, Ray will dunk you. Ray will put you in the rim. Ray's going to try to attack the basket. Ray's not going to just settle for threes and settle for being a guy that moved without the basketball is what I'm saying. There was never a point in Reggie Miller's career where I'm saying, here, I give you the ball, I clear out a side, and you take us home. You can never get that from him. Same thing with Klay Thompson. Same thing with Rip Hamilton. So yes, those comparisons are great. But could I get Steph to break down the defense and create for somebody else? Yeah. Same thing for Ray. I haven't watched Reggie Miller's every single solitary game. So maybe I'm being a little irresponsible, and somebody correct me. I'm fine with that. But
I think that's because Ray Allen being a mid-range shooter, he was just a great shooter in general.
yeah.
And go to the basket. But I guess Reggie Miller does, to me, still present that dominant 3 seconds left. He pushed him off Mike, game-winning shots. He still represents something. He's dominant that way. But to your point, he is a Hall of Famer. Like, but when you have to think about it,
Richard Hamilton, a Hall of Famer?
nah. I mean,
Why?
not first ballot.
Why
Not
Richard
first
Hamilton?
ballot.
Why Richard Hamilton not a Hall of Fame? But
He
Richard
wasn't a
Miller
lead
is?
dog for a team, and I don't think he could be. Not like Reggie, and not to say Reggie was a full number one lead dog. I think that's the problem. Like they made up a lot for his flaws. Like defensively, who the hell was he stopping? Like even get to that because Klay Thompson defensively.
But that's what I'm asking you. You saying that Reggie Miller was a lead dog? All right.
Man,
so I'm talking about what makes Reggie Miller a better candidate for the Hall of Fame than Richard Hamilton.
In terms of they both are second ballot to me, not first ballot.
That's how I feel about it. I don't have any problem with Reggie being a Hall of Fame. I'm not gonna argue down about that. I got it, but we got to stop acting like he's on the tier with Barkley and Shaq and guys like that. He's not on that tier with those guys in terms of Hall of Fame superstar. No.
No way. For anybody, I know you guys in the comments going crazy. RIP is a champion. Rip was champion. Reggie created the flop too. The kick out on threes. Right. There's a lot of stuff he got away with. There's no way possible you watch a young Mitch Richmond. It's not close. That's like
not even close.
And even going back to Chuck Person. Go back and watch a young Chuck Person. That's not even close. Chuck Person was kind of crazy till he hurt his knee. Larry Bird, I'm about to Google that. Are they crazy? And we gotta get going because
look at this. Like he's walking around the garden, hugging and kissing babies. What the fuck? Oh, I'm sorry. What is this? Reggie Miller? Don't get him out of here.
But he did. See, now that's a different story. Now going back to the superstar. Reggie Miller was a superstar. He knew where to come to the Garden. He thrived on all this. The choking thing with Spike Lee. You come to see Reggie Miller play because of those things. Yeah, it was a lot of like histrionics and a lot of things outside of the game. Okay, say whatever you want. He earned his name in villainy as a villain in New York City and in the Garden, bro. People who didn't watch basketball knew who Reggie Miller was. Miller time. That was the real deal. That's the difference between him and Rip Hamilton. Rip Hamilton had maybe zero superstardom behind him. There was no moments. There was no real charisma. This guy, when we talk again, I was comparing to wrestling. This guy's the villain. I gotta respect that about him. So him walking around the Garden like this is dope. I can't front.
Shit garbage.
It's dope.
Shit garbage. Shit is garbage. Shit is garbage. Shit is garbage. Go to Market Square Arena or whatever they call that shit in Indiana. Go do that shit. Go kiss and hug babies there, nigga. Don't come to the Garden. We don't like you. We don't like you here. And Spike Lee, all of a sudden now, that's your man. The fuck out of it. Ben Stiller giving him hugs and Ben Stiller's son running up to him. I need to get Reggie Miller the fuck out of here. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Knicks fans, that's how he made his name. That's what's pissing me off. That's the part that pissed me. Yes, that's Knicks hate, but that's what's part that's pissing me off. He had a moment in New York City. After that, she was better than him.
Not
come on, Yuck. Yuck. I know that's you, Yuck. Yuck. Listen to me, Yuck. His sister was better. Get Reggie Miller oh my God. You had a rivalry with John Starks. I'm gonna say it again. Love and respect to John Starks. You had a rivalry with John Starks.
Knicks Rehab, favorite perspective. Oh, we live.
Big Flea. Game 2 tonight. I mean, game 2 tonight, man.
What's the
W
Pacers?
Pacers, man.
Ooh. All ball TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.